Bam. My peoples. My peoples. Welcome to a brand new episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Yo, happy Thursday. And in case you having breakfast at this time, enjoy your breakfast. I know some of you guys are on your way to work. Some of you just woke up. If you're in a different time zone, it might be nighttime where you're at. Enjoy the show, my peoples. We talking boxing. Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez. It looks like it's going down. I'm telling you right now, that fight, I think it's going down. Why? Remember, first, Teofimo posted or tweeted that fight was happening. Then, Shakur Stevenson responded with saying, yo, call these people up and sign. You ain't signed nothing. And someone asked Teofimo about that. Like, yo, what's going on, family? And he said the fight is happening. So as per what Teofimo is saying, we're going to get that fight early next year. And I'm telling you right now, Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez, that is a super fight, my peoples. Don't get it twisted. Do not get it twisted. Black Jericho in the building. Salute Jay Smith and chat. My brother, appreciate you dropping in. Bam. You already know what it is. This is another episode of Boxing for Breakfast. Y'all about to get this healthy dosage of sweet science, man. You know how we do it. Black Jericho. I don't know. Shakur saying Teo talking, but his hand ain't moving. Definitely a super fight. I'm going to tell you what. I've seen that. But after that, I think it was an interview. Someone asked straight up, are you going to fight Shakur Stevenson? They were like, yo, early next year. It's going down. Maybe he just haven't hit that pen on paper, boom, and put that Alfred Hitchcock on there. But that doesn't mean he's not going to. It looks like that fight. Listen, right now, man, I feel like Teofimo Lopez, that fight with Boots got away. Then with Devin Haney, that got away. And now he has Shakur in front of him as a possibility. I don't know that he want to let that fight go. And I don't know that at this point, Teofimo Lopez want to fight somebody, that doesn't have a name like that. That people just going to be criticizing and complaining why he's fighting that guy. I don't think he want to be in that situation. But that's just my perspective. That's just my perspective, my peoples. Jay Will, the legend that is Jay Smith. Good morning, my people. Always appreciate you dropping in. You know what it is, Jay Will. We talking boxing. We was talking about that yesterday. Some people chimed in and said, no, look, this fight is not happening because Teofimo's going to be ducking. And it looks like it is going to be happening. I don't know. I'm starting to get this vibe that we're going to get Shakur versus Teo next. And I noticed that Tank Davis fans, they don't want that fight to happen. Why Tank Davis fans like, nah, it's probably not going to happen anyways. I don't think it's going to happen. You don't have no proof that it's going to happen. It's almost like they're like, damn, Tank is going to fight Jake Paul next. Shakur's going to fight Teofimo. That fight just can't happen, man. Then it's going to prove that Shakur's reaching for greatness. And Tank don't give a damn. He a duck. Dennis Brown. What about the Russian fighters? There's a lot of real good Russian fighters. But come on, you got to name names, my guy. But historically, Russia has produced great fighters. Historically, you could go back a very long time and find it. Banks OZ, Albuquerque, New Mexico, war zone. International District, war zone, in the building. Julio Cruz, blessing from Puerto Rico. Ooh, Puerto Rico's into his house. See what I'm saying? Box Center is all over the world, my peoples. We global. Not at the biggest scale, but people's tuning in from Africa, from Australia, from Canada, from the US, from Mexico, South America, overall. We all over the place, my peoples. And you know we up in France and Italy too. Come on now. We everywhere. Salute to everybody, wherever you tuning in from. Yo, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all making this happen. Dennis Brown, the Russian gunner, taking over boxing. Ooh, Jay Will. What a fight if it goes down. Teo Dust cap a lot. Tank fans mad that Shakur and Devin are fighting real opponents. Look, man, I think a fight between Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson is not just that it's a super fight because of the names and the accomplishments that you'll see in the ring that night, but these guys can fight, both of them at a high level. Both of them are special fighters. Man, they ain't even signed nothing yet, and I'm already excited about that fight. Now I'm gonna be super disappointed if it don't happen. Damn. That fight has to happen. It has to. That's it. Dennis Brown, Tank will destroy Jake. Brother, it's an exhibition fight. Nobody's getting destroyed. Black Jericho, Tank fighting Goofy. Tank fighting Goofy and everyone else fighting for greatness. High stakes. You can't make this up. Here's what I think is the craziest part about the way things are playing out with Tank. I want you guys, because it would just take me too much time to start looking for receipts. But if you go back 4 or 5 years, you'll see that the Tank Davis fan base was always arguing about how he was better than all these guys. He's better than them. And he's going to be greater, and he's going to do more, and he's going to accomplish more. Oh. Now the only thing that they argue about is money. That's it. He makes more money. He's making more money. He's getting a huge payday. The pocket watching has gotten out of hand. The pocket watching, my people, has gotten out of order. You think people gonna get a check? When Tank Davis get that 50 mil, 100 mil, whatever it's gonna be, you think they're gonna get a check? Crazy work. Shamrock, UK. You see what I'm talking about? The UK's in the building, my peoples. Box Center is global. We all over the place. We all over. We in the UK. We in Africa. We in Canada. Italy, France, Puerto Rico. Everybody's in the house, my peoples. I appreciate y'all. Ooh, Mexicans is everywhere. January Figueroa, Mexicans is everywhere. That is 100% a fact. That is 100% a fact. Mexicans is everywhere. Reppin'. Salute, my brother. Yo, I went to Curacao for a boxing event. That was a couple years ago. And there was one of our prospects who was making his pro debut over there. And, yo, in Curacao, bro, I ran into Mexicans. We went to a restaurant. Let me have a couple of drinks. Ran into Mexicans, bro, in Curacao, a country that I never even been to. I was only there for 1 week for those fights. And I ran. Mexicans is everywhere. That's a fact, my G. Black Jericho, Detroit in the house. That's Eminem stomping grounds. Marshall Mathers, bam. Yes, sir. Dennis Brown, black fighters. Nah, I don't know what you're saying about black fighters. A lot of great black fighters. Right now. Come on now. Terrence Buck Crawford, Shakur Stevenson, Jerron Busan. Jerron Busan has got to prove himself beating some names, but we already know what he about for real, for real. Come on now. Jay Will, best fighters are all over the world. Just look at most pound for pound. Usyk, Bud, Inoue, Bivol are top four. Very diverse. That is a fact. Boxing is global. And I'm going to tell you why boxing, I'm going to tell you guys right now why boxing became global the way that it is. Why there is no one country that dominates boxing. I'm going to tell you why. Think about this for a second. Think about years, I'm talking about the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, maybe even the 90s. Most of the world champions in boxing were American. Most of them. Most of the big names. Most of the... But here's what changed in boxing, my peoples. Countries got smart. They started bringing in coaches from different countries. So now you started to see Cuban coaches being flown out to Russia and training them. You started to see American coaches get flown out to Canada or get flown out to Italy and start training them. So coaches who were from countries who were running boxing now started to get hired to go to different places of the world and show them their training methods. Show them how they use the drills that they use for footwork, the drills that they use. So now these different countries who already had their own styles and their own ways started incorporating a lot of the same training methods. And that's how you got to see that on the world stage, boxing just started getting better and better and better. And that's it. That's why you see what we said earlier. Look at the pound for pound list. The best of the best. You're talking about Usyk. Usyk is Russian, right? Oh no, from Ukraine. Usyk from Ukraine. Naoya Inoue from Japan. Terrence Buck Crawford from the USA. Come on. Boxing is global. And the same thing happened. I want you guys to think about it. The same thing happened with different sports. The same way. Look at boxing. I mean, look at basketball. If you think about basketball, right? The U.S. used to run basketball. The dream team, beating gold medal, beating everybody. Bam, 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 running the world. But what happened? U.S. coaches started going to France to help train their team, to Italy, to Africa. They started taking their drills and their training methods. The same with the players from overseas who went to the U.S., played ball, took those methods that they learned back to their countries. So eventually other countries started to catch up. And now you see on the world stage, basketball, the U.S. doesn't just blow everybody out of the water like they used to back in the days. Back in the 80s, the U.S. was beating people by 25, 30, 40, 50 points. Blowouts. Those days are over. Now the U.S. goes to Russia and they play, and guess what? They win by 5 points. They win by 6. They lose. Sometimes they lose by 2, 3, 4 points too. It's a lot more competitive. So that's what we're seeing in boxing. All over the world, boxing is competitive. We're seeing champions coming from everywhere. So there you go, my people. That's my breakdown as to why we're seeing all of these world champions from all over the world. People in the pound for pound list from all over the world. because boxing is no longer a sport where it's only or mostly the best are right here and training right here. That's it. Boxing is a global sport where from any corner of the world you could get a great champion, and that has happened in the past. I'm not saying it didn't happen in the past, but now it's a lot something that you see a lot more frequent. Just think about how many champions you see, across all divisions, from Asia, from Europe, from North America, from South America, from the USA, from Australia, from the whole world, from everywhere you go in the world, there's world champions. Boxing is a global sport, my peoples. MAW, the US has often been a pioneer. So I have to say, this is important to point out. The USA is the mecca of boxing. Hands down. You can have success in other countries. We've seen Naoya Inoue. He's only fought in the US like I think maybe twice or three times in his whole career. So you can have success. You know, in the UK you can become a big star, make a lot of money, and never even fight in the US. You can do that. But the US is the mecca of boxing. Every fighter who gets to that top, to that highest level, has to go fight in the US. Look at Naoya Inoue. All of his accomplishments, two-time undisputed. And people be talking about, nah, but he not fighting in the US. He not. And what he said, oh yeah, my next fight, I'm gonna do it. I think his last fight was. It was his last fight, if I'm not mistaken. So once you get to the highest level, you have to go to the Mecca and fight over there. Kano Crush. Good morning, Jay Smith. Bam! Salute, my brother. Appreciate you dropping in. MAW. Boxing definitely global. I don't care where a fighter's from. If he's accomplished, he gets my full props. That's me right there, MAW. I don't care where you from. I don't care about your skin color, your race, your religion. I don't care about none of that. What are you doing in the ring? What are you accomplishing? And that's the one thing I get biased opinions out of the way. Okay? I don't care about the opinions. My perspective is I'm going to go in and watch and see what you're about. Are you a good fighter? Do you have certain traits that'll lead you to become a world champion? Come on. Let's keep it 100. Do you have what it takes? So once I identify certain traits, I could become a fan of a fighter regardless of where he's from or how he looks or whatever the case may be. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. What do you see in a fighter that you decide, I like this guy, I'm going to support him. I like what he's doing. So some fighters are doing everything right, and yet people don't like them. People find a reason to literally hate them. Come on. RJ, Teo can stop Shakur if he can catch him. I mean, I think this will be a very strategic fight. I don't think this is the type of showdown where you're going to see Teofimo Lopez just chasing him down and trying to beat him up. I think this is going to be the type of showdown where it's going to be very strategic. They're going to spend a lot of time in the middle of the ring, sizing, trading and figuring it out and looking for the right angles. These are two guys fighting at the highest level, bro. At the highest level. They're both special. J. Will, RJ, I'm not sure Teo Power hasn't carried up to 140. As far as the power goes, I'm not going to question Teofimo's power because I think he has the power that if he catch you with the right shot, you're going to sleep. Can he catch Shakur Stevenson with that shot? That's the magic question. But I believe this is a competitive fight where they will go back and forth. They'll both win some rounds. And may the best man win. I'm going to make my prediction. I think you guys already know what I'm predicting. But I'll wait. I'll make my prediction once we know that that fight is going down. But I don't know. I'm honestly, my people, I'm feeling positive about it. I'm feeling like with the interaction that they're having, I feel like it could happen. I feel like it can happen. I want to show you guys something that you may find interesting, my peoples. The audio is not that good over here, but let me see. Let me see if I can show you guys. Let me see if I can show you guys. Okay. Let me know. I don't know if you can hear it. I'm gonna try to play it for you, and you guys tell me. J. Will, MAW, did you see Opataya fighting Chisora? Yo, Opataya, man, I've been telling people, he's a beast. He is a beast. I can't wait for him to be involved in those big fights. Black Jericho, it's low. Okay, I feel you. I'll find a different device to play it from. MAW, what the F? J. Will, damn, didn't see that coming. Would've watched though for sure. Facts, J. Smith. So my peoples, let me ask you a question. Taking into account that Shakur Stevenson, that there is a good possibility that he'll be fighting Teofimo Lopez next. And Tank Davis is gonna be fighting Jake Paul. How do you think that fans are reacting about that situation? There's a group of people that are saying, well, that's okay. He's making a lot of money. And then there's a group of people that are saying, yeah, but he ducked. Meanwhile, Shakur Stevenson is fighting one of this era's greatest fighters in Teofimo Lopez. Because Teofimo's going to go down. That's the funny thing about him, that a lot of people dislike him. But when you look at the accomplishments and the resume, he's going to go down as one of the greats of this era. So is Shakur. So is Devin. Tank, he made a lot of money. That's what they're going to say. MAW, take the time to smash that like button. Please, folks. No doubt, my peoples. Look, man, you can hit the like on the top over there. Because I know some people told me, yo, I don't even know how to hit the like button in this shit. Some people actually told me that. And I get that. You could be old school with it. But look, up top, you can hit that little button over there. Bam, that's the like. Or double tap the damn screen, homie. We ain't that old over here. Just go like that. Pop, pop. Double tap it. And there you go. J. Will, MAW, not signed yet. But they want to make it. I don't know, man. I feel like that fight could happen. Honestly, I feel like that fight could happen. I really do. Will it happen? We got to wait and see, man. They're going back and forth. They're exchanging on social media. The one thing is, in boxing, you just never know, man. Because I remember when there was a moment in time where Ryan Garcia and Rollies, y'all remember when they was talking? And then Rollies pulled out on him and fought Barroso. So you just never know. What if Shakur, what if Teofimo, Ryan Garcia's been throwing shots on social media. What if he says, you know what, let me go fight Ryan Garcia. That's an easier win. That's an easier fight for me. I could get this W maybe. I don't know. I hope that they go that route, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez. That's a fight I really, 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 really want to see, my people. Gotta have it. MAW. Would be interesting if Opetaya versus Chisora happens. Very interesting, in my humble opinion. I would like to see that fight. But did Chisora say that his last fight was his last fight? If I'm not mistaken. J Max, good morning, J Smith. Salute, my brother. Bam! You already know it, my peoples. This is a brand new episode of Boxing for Breakfast where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. We talking boxing. You see it. Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson. It looks like it's going down between them. It really looks like it's going down between them, my peoples. Come on now. That's a fight we should all be excited about. Come on. Yeah, I mean, there's people excited about Tank Davis and Jake Paul. So if you're excited about Tank Davis and Jake Paul, bro, you need to be excited about Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez. You see, with that fight, you could be excited that Tank Davis is making a lot of money. But with this fight, you could be excited that you're going to get a good fight between two world champions. Come on now. Let's be for real, my peoples. Let's be for real. Let's talk about what's really happening, what's going down. Let's understand it. Hold on one second. I'm trying to get this receipt out here. So let's keep it 100, my people. With Tank Davis and Jake Paul, you know, they're going to be excited about how much money Tank Davis making for this fight. But with Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez, we could be excited about what a great fight this is between two world champions, two accomplished fighters, multi-division champions, unified champions. This is a historic fight. This is a legitimate super fight. We're going to need that. Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez, we're going to need that, my peoples. Tank Davis versus Jake Paul, well, the casual fans and the non-boxing fans, they're going to need that one. So they could argue about money and shit. He's making a lot of money. He's going to make a shitload of money, bro. Will you turn it down? I would take that too. Come on, my people. We got to be realistic. We got to be realistic. Like, do you enjoy what goes down inside the ring, or do you enjoy what's inside a bank account? You pocket watching goofy. That fight makes sense. Not Tank Davis, Jake Paul. That's what they want to do, man. That's what they want to do. They got people backing that. They got people backing the goofballery. J Max, be watching history. Lopez, Shakur, 100%. MAW, I'm leaning to Shakur already. Counterpuncher Teo been hot and could, but has had trouble versus boxers fighting from outside. Full props if Teo deservedly got the W though. Look, I think it's a very competitive fight just because, again, they're both special fighters. I think it's going to play out in a very interesting way when you see the styles that they both bring to the table. I'm looking forward to it. I think you guys know who I got winning it, but I'm going to save my prediction for when we actually have a fight coming up. Then, you know, I got it. I got it. J Max, that fight makes sense. Not Tank Davis, Jake Paul. Disappointing, bro. Disappointing. Tank Davis. Look, Tank Davis versus Lamar Roach was one of the most anticipated fights in boxing, if you think about it. And those of you who've already been a part of the channel for a while, you know that I had Lamar Roach winning the rematch. You guys know it. I said, listen, the way that the first fight played out, it did not go the distance because Lamar Roach was out there to survive, or because he was running and Tank was chasing him around, or because he was excessively clinching. That fight went the distance because Lamar Roach was putting all type of hands on Tank Davis. That's why it went the distance. You ever seen Pitbull Cruz is the only fighter who had that type of success against Tank Davis. And I mean that type of success as far as standing right in front of him and trading with him. But Lamar Roach took it up another notch. Lamar Roach actually spent the overwhelming amount of time of that fight walking Tank Davis down. When Tank Davis stood his ground, he traded with him and won a lot of those exchanges. So we never seen Tank Davis in this situation to where he got so frustrated that he took a knee, turned his back on his opponent and the ref. All type of goofballery. Lamar Roach had him acting out of order, my peoples. So this rematch was very much anticipated. And then you see Tank Davis walk away from that type of rematch, and you want to cling on to, but he's making a lot of money. He's gonna make a lot of money though, and I would have took it, and we all would have took it. The pocket watching is out of order, my peoples. Shaggy, good morning, Jay. Good morning, my G. Happy Thursday. Let's talk boxing. You know how we do it. You know how we do it. But tell me I'm lying. Isn't the pocket watching out of order at this point? My people, hit that like button, by tapping the like up top or double tap the screen. In case, I'm going to be giving instructions, but I'm going to put out a tutorial how to hit the like button. Because some people told me, nah, yo, I don't know how to hit the like button on this shit. It's us old school peoples that be lost in shit with technology. So I'm going to put out a tutorial for you. How you hit that like button, just double tap the damn screen. Make it simple. Bam, bam. MAW. I still find it weird how people be out here pocket watching, shaking my head. Yes, full props to fighters getting the bag, but accomplishments matter most. So here's the deal, MAW. Circumstances have to always be considered, right? So I would say if a fighter is 40 years old, go for the bag. You're at the tail end of your career. Of course you need to go for that bag. You're 38, 39. But Tank Davis is 30 years old, had a scheduled rematch with Lamar Roach, and Jake Paul would have been next. What caused him to walk away? Because people say, would you have turned down the bag with Jake Paul? He didn't have to turn down that bag. Don't twist up the narrative to fit what you want to believe. He didn't have to turn down the bag. He could have fought Lamar Roach and then fought Jake Paul next. Unless he thought Lamar Roach was going to whoop his ass, like I thought he was, then it would have been a different story. Black Jericho, smash that like button. Jay Smith always coming with that heat. My peoples, come on, man. Double tap. Bam, bam, hit that like button. Stop playing with your boy. Don't be ducking that like button the same way Tank Davis ducking Lamar Roach. It's the same thing. There's no difference. MAW, Shakur is the fighter that gets hit the least. That's saying something. Full props to Teo. If the fight happens, though, it takes two to tango. Of course. If Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson signed those contracts, I think Shakur already did, you got to give props to both of them because they're both trying to be great. They're both showing, I want the best. I am about that smoke. And they both been about that smoke. Only difference is Teofimo has been able to get those fights and Shakur hasn't. Because he is the real boogeyman, like I told y'all. When you the real boogeyman, guess what? Nobody want to fight you. They scared to death. What can I tell you? But come on. Shakur Stevenson, he's already in the pound-for-pound list. Already in the pound-for-pound list. And guess what? If he beats Teofimo Lopez, top 5. Just like that. You're going to be in the top 5. And then if Teofimo Lopez beats him, Teofimo is going to be top 5 on the spot. Next day, next morning. J. Will, J. Smith, Shakur beat Teo. How high will you put him? On the pound for pound list? I know he's not going to make the top 3 for sure. But I think he cracks the top 5. I got to look at it. Yeah, probably. Damn, I'm not sure. I think he's going to be 5 or 6, maybe 6. 5 or 6. Al Booger, J. Smith, good morning. Salute, my brother. Bam. J. Will, dang, already answered it. I'm going to say this to you guys. This fight, if they do it, is going to be big. It's going to have numbers. It's going to do numbers. It's going to be, fun to watch. And guess what? People still going to find a way to hate on it. There's people that have been hating on Shakur for so long and hating on Teofimo Lopez for so long that people's going to be hating no matter what happens in this fight. These are two of the most hated fighters, bro. These are two of the fighters that got the most haters. So it's like they're going to fight each other, and there's going to be people out there that want both of them to lose. Yeah, I want you to think about that. There's people who's going to want both of them to lose. I'm going to say this. Me personally, as soon as they announce it, as soon as they say it's a done deal, Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez going to fight. As soon as that happens, you're going to see my prediction. I'm going to let you guys know, look, this is who I'm predicting. This is going to win, and this is how they're going to do it. I'm going to give you that Jay Stradamus prediction. That's how it's going down. But for now, we're just going to go back and forth, have a good time with it. We don't know if it's happening. I'm hopeful. I feel very positive with the interactions that I've seen. But it's like we were saying earlier, man. In boxing, you never know. Until the contracts are not signed, you never know. That's why I reminded y'all when Rollies and Ryan Garcia was going back and forth. And all of a sudden, Rollies just came out that he signed to fight Barroso. And left Ryan Garcia out, caught him by surprise with that one. So right now, with Teo and Shakur, we have to wait till the contracts are actually signed. That's when we're going to know. But the fake narratives on fighters, people got to stop that, man. Look, we was talking about this yesterday, my people. So it just crossed my mind. So I want to tell you. No, I was not going at anybody when I said there's some YouTubers or some social media personalities that be talking goofy ass shit just to get views and likes and all that. I wasn't pointing out at anybody specifically. Okay, damn all that. Me, you guys know. I'm talking about what's happening in the sport of boxing, what's happening between fighters, what fights we want to see. I don't care about no damn conspiracies, man. I don't care about, I think that these guys are doing this on the low, and I think that this is happening behind closed doors. You guys never see me making stuff up. You guys never see me cap it. You guys never... Look, for example, one of the fighters that I criticize a lot is Tank Davis. Now, why I criticize him and I go hard at him? Because look at his talent. Tank, we could say, is one of the most talented fighters of this era. When you talk about power, reflexes, footwork, speed, counterpunching, Tank has it all in his bag of tools. The ring IQ, patience. He has it all. But he doesn't have the resume. That's what he doesn't have. He doesn't have the big names that he could have under his belt. He doesn't. So it's like people don't want to set the same expectations for Tank Davis that they set for other fighters. You guys explain this to me. How I have somebody telling me, yo, Jay, but tell me how many legacy fights Terrence Crawford got. Tell me all of the big names that Terrence Crawford beat. What are the Hall of Famers that Terrence Crawford beat? How many pound-for-pound fighters he beat? Look at all the things that you ask to acknowledge him as great. But then when we talk about Tank Davis, you're like, yeah, he made a lot of money, and he's selling more pay-per-views, and he's putting butts in seats. That shit is a diabolical level of pocket watching. Jesus Christ Ministries. Everyone criticize him. Maybe he might take better fights after the big money fight with Jake Paul. I mean, that, what you're saying, I'm going to tell you why that doesn't make sense. 2 plus 2 needs to be 4, right? 2 plus 2 is 4. We all know that, right? You guys, Tank Davis fans, you guys, for the last 5-6 years, you guys don't shut up about how Tank is the cash cow. Tank makes the most money. Tank does the most pay-per-view. Tank puts butts in seats. This guy don't deserve to fight Tank because he ain't doing pay-per-view numbers. So how do you spend years and years selling that Tank makes the most money and making the millions, and now you're like, nah, but he got to get the bag first with Jay? It's like, yo, what the hell happened with all that money y'all been telling us that he's got all these years, all these millions of dollars, and now he need a bag to fight the names? That shit don't add up, bro. Something is not adding up with your logic. You can't tell me for years and years that this is the guy making the most millions ever, and now all of a sudden when a bag show up, oh, now he need the bag though. He's gonna need that bag. I don't know, buddy, but that doesn't add up. That simply looks like a way that you're trying to shape it to still fit the narrative. Because everything that Tank Davis does, we got to come up with a whole new angle to defend it. It always happens. If you cherry pick or duck, no, because with Tank Davis it's different because he's going to make this amount of money. That's always been the argument. That's always been the argument. But I want you to think about this, Jesus Christ Ministries. How come when Canelo Alvarez didn't fight Boo Boo Andre, people say he ducked? People say he ducked Boo Boo. But wait a minute. He went on to fight Caleb. He moved up and fought Caleb for $35 million. How come nobody said, oh, no, wait a minute, he made a lot of money, so that's not a duck? Nobody said that. I don't remember hearing one person say that. So the whole logic that the amount of money means is not a duck, that literally was just made up for Tank Davis right now. That didn't exist. In the history of watching boxing, and I've been watching it for over 25 years, my people. Actually, over 30 years. Over 30 years I've been watching boxing, my peoples, following boxing. I've never seen a fan, a single fan say, oh, nah, bro, that was not a duck because in the next fight he's going to make a lot of money. Never seen that. This is the whole new Tank Davis logic that was just invented right now on the spot. What's going on? Now, you think to yourself, what if all boxing fans felt this way? What if all boxing fans felt, I don't care who you fight, man, just try to chase that money? We will probably collapse the sport of boxing within like a year or two. Boxing will turn into a club sport. It will just collapse. It will turn into a social media event. That said, boxers would just be YouTubers. People will stop training. It will be pointless. Now you can just box and make millions of dollars. It'll turn into that. If everybody felt like that, fans don't realize that they have a perspective that will literally ruin the sport of boxing if everybody felt and talked like, yeah, now he's making a lot of money. He got to go for the bag. These are people making millions of dollars, man. All of these people are making millions of dollars. Tank Davis, you've been talking about all the millions of dollars that he's been making for years. And now he need a bag, though. Now he need a bag. Where the hell all the millions go? All the millions that you've been talking about, they disappeared? I don't know, man. I don't know. Something just ain't adding up the way y'all be explaining it. Something just ain't adding up. Now we want to talk about the millions of dollars that everybody would have took. Christopher Leden, yo, bro, salute. Bam. Appreciate you dropping in, family. Y'all already know what it is, man. This is another episode of Boxing for Breakfast where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. We talking boxing, my peoples. We doing what we do. Stop ducking that like button the same way Tank Davis ducked Lamont Roach. You could tap on that like on the top of your screen right there, bang. Or you could double tap your screen, bang. For the old school who told me, nah, yo, I don't know how to hit the like button, but yeah, I don't see it in the screen. Double tap, OG. That's it, my peoples. We just have to get that fight. We just have to get Tank Davis versus Shakur Stevenson. We need it. We need an actual real fight. The circus show, cool stuff. The casual fans and the non-boxing fans, they're going to be arguing about money. The real fans are going to be like, yo, Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez, championship fight. Tremaine Nunn, they make all this money because people want to see this mess. People want to see it. Jake Paul created his own lane, and now that lane is bringing in a lot of money. He's doing a great job with investing, advertising, pushing his name brand, and it's working. It's working. People are tuning in. He got the fight with Tank Davis. He wanted it for a long time. He got it. And they're going to make a lot of money. But again, when you have boxing fans arguing about the money and defending about the money, yo, y'all will ruin the sport of boxing. Y'all will ruin the sport of boxing with that mindset. Y'all will have everybody fighting like that. Fighting exhibitions. And then what? That's what you want? That's what y'all want to see? Instead of paying all this money for exhibitions, pay that same amount of money for championship fights, for real fights. Make real fights. Superman, Smith, bam. You know how we do it, my brother. Salute. Appreciate you dropping in. I don't know, man. I know that fans sometimes become so hardcore fans of an athlete that they disregard the sport and just focus on always trying to formulate an angle to defend that athlete no matter what. Tank Davis has that type of fan base. They'll come up with anything just to defend him. Flip, let's lay off Tank. He's done at this point, but I believe he cooks Shakur if it ever happens, in my opinion. I mean, look, having that opinion is okay because Tank Davis is a great fighter. But I will tell you, Flip, Tank, his coach, his team, none of them believe you. They don't believe you, bro. So you have more confidence in Tank than Tank has in Tank. Because if they would have believed you, that fight would have been happened. Tank would have been fought Shakur and beat him like you think he could. But there's a reason why he ain't trying to fight him. There's a reason why he ducking him. There's a reason why he has gotten upset when people ask him about that fight. He knows Shakur whooping that ass. He knows what's going on. Five Nights. My bro, peace. Teo and Shakur do fight. That's a big one. Look, man, real talk, that's a fight a lot of people want to see. A lot of people want to see this fight. I want to see it. And the way that they're exchanging on social media, I think there's a possibility we could get this fight. Christopher Lede, man, Jake Paul's such a clown. Plain and simple. I mean, look. I'm going to say this. I wouldn't say that Jake Paul is a clown because he's a businessman. And as a businessman, you're going to do what works. He's not just a businessman. Let me rephrase that. And I want you to tell me what you think about what I'm saying, Christopher Lede. He's not just a businessman. He's a very savvy businessman who focused on innovation, who focused on doing what nobody else has done. And he's accomplishing that. Follow me here. He's never going to be an elite level fighter. He's never going to be a great fighter. He's never going to be the world champion. Nah, he's never going to do that. But you think about this. This guy decided that he wanted to become one of the biggest stars in boxing. And he has. Whether or not we like him, dislike him, respect him, don't respect him, but at this point, he's been boxing for 6 years. He's been boxing people who don't box and retired people, but he's been boxing. And he's been training with real boxers. He's been training in real gyms with great resources. He's a boxer. So today in 2025, Jake Paul is one of the most popular boxers in the world without accomplishing shit. It takes a very good business plan and very, strategic marketing for you to accomplish what Jake Paul was able to. So, is he really a clown? Nah. He a troll. He like to troll a lot on social media. When he says stuff like, I'm the greatest fighter in the world, he's trolling. Come on, he's trolling because he know people are going to react. People are going to get mad. Jake Paul loves to be the villain, bro. And he built himself that personality, even copying other people. You don't see the shit that he does. The shit that he stole from Conor McGregor. The scream, the way he does it. The pictures he take him like Conor McGregor used to take him. The hairstyle like Conor McGregor used to have it. Come on. So, the beard. Jake Paul almost took Conor McGregor's personality and he adapted it to his boxing character so that he could be the bad guy and the bully. That's not clown shit, bro, because this guy has made millions and millions and millions of dollars off of that. You're a great businessman. You're a great businessman. And in business, you get away with what you can. Flip. Let's be honest. All sports change in due time, and the fans of yesterday will be different than the fans of tomorrow. The new generation of fans are not going to care so much about legacy. That's not true, Flip. You see, that's what happens, Flip. You start taking other people and you want to talk for other people and you want to bunch them in with your own opinions and you want to bunch them in to fit your narrative. But there's nothing true about that because right now we're seeing fan base, young fans that are looking up to Terrence Crawford for becoming undisputed, for reaching for greatness. We're seeing little kids coming up that are watching Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney that are looking for titles. We've seen Kermel Moulton, who's only 20 years old, who's saying he wanted to reach for a title as soon as possible. So what you're saying is 100% cap. Yes, there's going to be the casual fans who's never going to care. The casual fans are always going to be there. The Jake Paul fans and the fans that want to argue about money, that's it. You guys are here to stay. But you guys are never going to replace, bro, the fans that love the sport, that love the science, that love the championships, that love the greats. You will never be able to replace that, bro. I know you want to bunch yourself in with everybody else. Like, now we're all going to be like this someday. It's never going to happen. Ever. AG, good morning. From Florida, brothers. Good morning, family. Bam! Kano Crush. One thing, Jay Smith. We're likening the new generation into boxing by getting Jake Paul involved, even though we don't like him. So Jake Paul brings a certain level of popularity, you can say, to boxing, but there's a problem with that. It's not a real popularity. You know why? Because he walks away and takes all those fans with him. A lot of them were never boxing fans. They there because they're guys there. So if you're bringing them and then you're taking them with you, you're not making the sport more popular. They leaving right with your ass. Brady, I hate talking about Jake Paul. He's business smart for sure, but a real goofy in my opinion. Exactly. You know, we have to respect the fact that this guy went to the highest levels of boxing without accomplishing anything. Trust me, it takes a lot. It takes a whole lot. Because anybody can have, there's a lot of people that got money that try to do business move and them shits don't work. Juan Ocasio, Jake Paul do be having good cards though. The main event, which is him, is usually the worst fight. That's the one thing, man. He got it up on his social media that his number one thing is his fighting career. And number two is MVP promotion. So you think about that. He has all these fighters, female fighters, who are world champions, undefeated, talented, elite level fighters. But his main focus is his boxing career. When he's a bum and he's never going to do shit. But he's going to do big shows. And he's going to make a lot of money. But why would you put yourself ahead of these undefeated women, undefeated champions, elite level fighters? Well, you're out here doing exhibitions, man. So it's a business first. Let me make this money with me being the main guy, and then this on the back burner is gonna make my boxing legit because I got professional fighters that I signed. So now I'm more legit. Brady, how much bigger is Jake compared to Tank? A lot bigger. Tank is like 5'5", 5'6", and Jake Paul like 6 feet tall. So he's a lot bigger. But the size difference is irrelevant. This is an exhibition fight. It's not even a real fight. Agent 17, salute Jay Smith. Good morning, brother. Salute, family. Bam. Flip, it's okay, Jay, but I promise you, the new generation does not care so much about your Shakur and Tank Davis or the Haney Maniacs. They like Jake Paul because he's more popular than just... No, Flip, it's not about the new generation. You keep talking for the new generation. No, it's not about the new generation. It's about the casual fans. It's about the social media fans. That's what it is. It has nothing to do with the new generation. Don't you see that Shakur Stevenson has over 1 million followers on IG? Don't you see his level of popularity regardless of how much you hate him? Look at his popularity. That's the problem. You know that somebody really doesn't know what they're talking about and that somebody has a really weak argument when they want to talk for somebody else. When somebody talk for somebody else, Flip, that's when they show that they have a very weak argument. You have a weak argument. So instead of you taking ownership of your weak-ass argument and saying, because this is how I feel about it. I don't care about these things. And I prefer watching Jake Paul. Instead of you taking ownership of your weak-ass casual argument, you have the audacity to put it on somebody else and talk for other people. Oh, the new generation. What are you talking about? Stop talking for other people, Flip. Stop talking for other people, Flip. That's not cool. You gotta learn how to talk for yourself. Hold on, because Flip talking for other people. So you gotta learn how to talk for yourself, Flip. You can have your opinion. Opinions are opinions. But you gotta stand on your own opinion. Not try to give opinion for other people. Because you talking to me, the other people that you talking about, they not over here. They not part of this conversation. So you keep talking about other people. You keep talking about other people and your predictions of what you think. Talk for yourself. You gotta learn how to talk for yourself. When you talk for other people, you're showing weakness. You don't really realize that you're showing that you have a weak argument. So because you have a weak ass argument, you gotta talk for other people. Like, nah, there's a lot of other people that agree with me and that are gonna see it just like me. Sorry, buddy. Boxing fans ain't just gonna turn into casual boxing fans overnight or ever. Boxing is a very old sport. You guys showed up with the social media and with the Jake Pauls. My peoples. I posted a video about this fight, Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. And man, people told me, yo, that fight is not gonna happen, bro. That fight is not gonna happen. It can't happen. Come on, my people. Why it can't happen? Why that fight cannot happen? You know why? Because there's people that don't want it to happen. There's people who always make the argument, Shakur ain't fight nobody. Shakur ain't fight nobody. So they don't want him to fight Shakur. They don't want him to fight Teofimo. And guess what? If Shakur Stevenson beat Teofimo Lopez, you know what's gonna be the next thing? But he only beat Teo. He didn't beat nobody. He only beat Teo. And guess what? Teo lost to Cambosis anyways. Teo lost to Cambosis, so that's not even that big. Yo, I swear to God, yo, this is gonna be my receipt for if he wins. I promise you that argument is gonna be made. Like, when you wanna hate on a fighter so bad, you will randomly bring him up for no reason just to hate on him. Randomly out of nowhere. Why? Why people do this? Just to defend a duck. How is it that I tell people, yo, bro, look, Tank Davis had a rematch with Lamar Roach. That rematch was supposed to happen. Yo, but what are you talking about? But Canelo Alvarez duck Boo Boo. What? What are you talking about, Canelo duck Boo Boo? What the hell does that even have to do? What does that even have to do with this? Canelo and Boo Boo, that was like 5 years ago, bro. You bringing up 5 years ago? So every time Canelo cherry pick or duck, you're gonna bring up some shit from 5 years ago? Come on, bro. Come on. Flip, it's definitely a weak argument when you say, well, you talk for other people. You got to talk for yourself. You see, I'm giving you my point of view, and you can give me your point of view. But your point of view cannot be based on what you think other people are going to think. You wildin', brother. You're not a psychic. You don't talk for somebody else. The moment you say, well, other people agree with me, you're saying, I have a weak argument, so I need to incorporate other people into my horrible opinion. If it was a good opinion, you wouldn't have to be bringing in other people that are not in the conversation. Talking for other people. Come on, bro. Come on, Flip. I don't even need to sit here and tell you, there's people that's going to support it too. There's people that's going to support it. Because I don't need to talk for them. I let them talk for themselves. You're the one over here talking for other people. Weak argument. Juan Ocasio. That's those corny boxing channels with their big headlines. Get the casuals going. That's the one thing, bro. If you start looking for boxing channels, you're going to find out of every 10, it might be 7 spreading goofy-ass conspiracies, goofy-ass talking points. And those are the channels that boxing fans, that casual boxing fans like Flip be following. So they spit all this casual logic and they be having them believe it. They be believing it's true. Juan Ocasio. There's those corny. I'm telling you, that's a fact, bro. Frito, you hate on Tank all the time. Okay, Frito, but tell me how I hate on Tank. By saying that he ducked Lamar Roach, I'm hating. By saying what actually happened. That's the funny thing about Tankomaniacs. Y'all call the truth hate. I don't understand why you would call the truth hate, bro. Go ahead, Frito. You see, y'all hate on Crawford. You see when people say that Crawford's on steroids? That's hating. Because you're taking some shit out of thin air, making it up, and spreading it out there. That's real hate, man. When a fighter is doing good, accomplishing, never been in trouble, and you spread that he on steroids, that's hate. And that's not just hate. That's wicked. That's dirty. That's nasty. You trying to put dirt on a man's name. That's nasty work. See, that's hate. But because you follow narratives, Frito, I never see you calling that hate. Isn't that interesting? All the lies that are spread about Crawford, you don't call it hate? Because you're part of that system. And then I tell the truth about Tank, and I'm hating. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. When you say I'm hating on Tank, that just sounds like you got Tank Kizak in your mizouth. That's what it is. You don't like to hear the truth about Tank. You don't like to hear that he ducked Lamont Roach. You don't like to hear that he's 30 years old and hasn't fought a single reigning champion in the 135 division. So I'm a hater because I'm telling you the truth? Stop the cap. Y'all Tankomaniacs cannot handle the truth. You call the truth hate. Meanwhile, y'all the ones hating on Terrence Crawford. Y'all the ones hating on Shakur Stevenson. Y'all the ones hating on all the fighters that you can hate. Y'all the only haters that I know that's a fan base, a hater fan base. Stop the cap. Brady, I wonder if Tank retires after he fights Jake. I mean, he's going to make a lot of money. So he could retire. Could retire. Is he going to? I don't know. Because remember, he has said that he would fight Manny Pacquiao and then move up to 140. Well, the Manny Pacquiao situation obviously didn't happen. Then he went in straight into Jake Paul. So he bypassed Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach, nobody's even talking about it, but he got kneecapped. What we're watching with Tank Davis and Jake Paul, that shit is literally a kneecapping exercise on Lamont Roach. That was his rematch, his bag, his payday, his career opportunity on another big stage. And it got taken away because Tank ducked. And fans don't want to accept the reality of it. Yo, to Jay Smith, every now and then you got to smack the casual boxing logic with facts over feelings. I be trying, man. I be trying. But it's hard to get out here and put the facts out there and let people understand that we talking about facts, not that bullshit these other they YouTubers. A lot of people don't even know shit about boxing. But they putting out a bunch of casual logic, and these people, they eating it all up, bro. That's the problem with these platforms. You believe it? Look, the first thing is you gotta look at the platforms of people that are involved with boxing. That's number one. When you see Blue Blood Sports TV, when you see and what's this dude's name? The two dudes that's on the zone. There's people that you know, yeah, these dudes, the Fiorentino guy, the suspicious record. That guy was an amateur boxer. He was nice too. So there's people in boxing. Obviously, Coach Greg Hackett. There's people in boxing who are or have been involved with boxing, and then they created a platform. People like that, you know that you're gonna get some good boxing content. Yeah, you're gonna get. But these other platforms, a lot of them, they just providing entertainment, man. And they providing you with entertainment, and then people think it's for real, and they start spreading a bunch of fake narratives because they heard it on a channel, on a site, on a page. Superman, Showbiz, Slow Biz. He's an entertainer. But you got to give him his flowers. Look how... And I'm going to be honest with you, Showbiz is someone who I haven't followed like that. But based on me seeing him early on, before he got on with the zone and all that stuff, he came across to me as an entertainer. I don't know if he's ever been involved with boxing himself or if he ever boxed. I don't think so, but maybe he has. But the subject matter and the things he was talking about, it comes across like he's an entertainer. But he does a very good job. He does a very good job, and look where he's at right now. And now he is involved with boxing. And he has been. He has been. I'm pretty sure he's already met fighters and all that stuff. Flip. Jay, why I rock with you so much? Because I can have an opinion different than yours. And at the end of the day, we're grown men. I'm out. That's right. We can all have an opinion. We just shouldn't have an opinion about somebody else's opinion. Because that's not your opinion. Now you're trying to talk for somebody else. Juan Ocasio. That's what they doing with Canelo. Boosting, making it a race thing. That shit funny. Listen. That is hilarious. Now Boots gotta stick to a code. Do we really want to say how many black fighters been in Canelo training camp? And they never had a problem. The same people who talking all this shit, they never had a problem with the fighters who was in Canelo training camp before. Now, because the preparation is for Terrence Crawford now, I seen people calling Boots all type of names. That's unfortunate and sad, to be honest. Agent 17. Yeah, by the way, I'm not a personal fan of Showbiz. He's very corny and stuff. I mean, he has his style, he has his brand, and he's killing it. That's what I could tell you. That's what I could tell you. He's doing great. I'll put it to you like this. Think about this for a second. Don't you wish you could see me on that same platform that you see Showbiz? On the zone? At the fights? Because that's where I want to be at. So how can I knock a brother who's where I want to be? That's where I want to be, bro. I want to be arguing boxing with Showbiz. Debating with him. Agent 17. If Jay Smith get on the zone, gonna be insane, bro. You imagine me calling the fights on the zone? You imagine me ringside arguing with these people? Shit. I mean, you never know. You never know. There's some people out there trying to speak it into existence. I'm trying to speak it into existence. In fact, let me put you guys on. Like a year ago, yo, things happen for a reason, man. Everything happens for a reason. Like a year, maybe a year and a half ago, I actually applied to a job with the Zone in content creation. I applied, and my shit got rejected. To be honest, I thought it was gonna get rejected. I was like, nah, they not gonna just take me like, oh, because I'm saying I'm nice. You know, I'm not famous. I don't have a large following or anything like that. So they rejected my application. And guess what? When they rejected my application, that's when I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm coming out with my own show. Y'all either gonna open the door or I'm gonna create my own door. I'm gonna create a show that is gonna be my own show. Nobody else is gonna be able to do what I'm doing because it's shit that I'm making up inside my head. I'm making up the topics inside my head. That shit is not even... Well, I write some stuff on paper. I'm getting old. I can't remember everything, my people. But Superman, damn, rejected. Why? I mean, they rejected me because you have to understand, when a company like that has an application, has an opening, it's thousands of applications that go in. So they don't even read each and every one of them. My application may not have even been read. Because what you get is a generic response. Thank you for applying. We appreciate it, blah, blah, blah. But your application was not selected to the next round of, because then you go to a next round where there's the interview round and all that stuff. But I tell you what, on paper, my peoples, ain't nobody gonna hire me on paper. You know why? Because when we submit applications, they're gonna get my application, which is gonna say, I got this experience, this is what I got. But then they're gonna get an application from somebody who's gonna say, I've been a producer on this show, I got credits on this show, I was on TV for this, I was on the radio for that. I don't have those type of credits. So I'm better than those people, but on paper I can't prove it. On paper, they're all better than me. That's just the reality. That's just the reality, my people. But I have to be honest. I have to be honest. Sometimes things just work for the best, because when they rejected my shit, that's when I said, I'm going to do my own show. And my show is going to be better than the shows they got on the zone. Me, with my little cell phone and my little Wi-Fi, I'm going to do better boxing content than they ass. And here we are, my peoples. Here we are. They're going to have the better production, the better cameras, the better stage and studios and lighting. But you're not going to make better boxing content. I'm going to beat your ass. That's how it is. You got to feel like I am the guy. I'm him. And I'm going to show you. Ages 17, veggie salad. The veggie salad. Who the best boxer or technician in your opinion? I'm not sure. I can't say off the top of my head. No, Muhammad, Mike Tyson, Bivol, the best technical boxer. Agent 17. This is better than Ariel and Adi and Showbiz, in my opinion. Ariel and Adi is okay, but Ariel is better with MMA than boxing, in my opinion. But credit to him, he been putting on the work. Listen, everybody who the Zone or Matchroom, I don't know who pick them, has put on their shows, they've been very good about who they select. They bring in guys who are very good with expressing the action, with expressing what's going on in the ring. Also with just talking about the fights, about the fighters, about the events. They're very good at it. And many of them have experience. Many of them have experience in the ring, or have been around fighters, or have been around training, coaching, and all. So they do a very good job. Here's my only knock on the Zone or Matchroom, whoever does it. And this is where they need to bring my ass in. My peoples, can somebody screen record this? Somebody screen record this shit, what I'm about to say, and send it to me? Check this out. I'm going to tell you guys why the Zone needs me. When you watch the boxing fights, when you watch these events, you'll notice that most of the people talking, they have a UK accent. Matter of fact, I'm going to get my, just in case, if nobody want to screen record this shit for me, I'm going to do it myself too. But this is important for you guys to keep in mind. And I'm going to post it. I'm going to post it too. Because I know sometimes Eddie Hearn sees some of my stories and some of the people over there. So maybe they could see it and take my words into consideration. Right? So this is the reason, my peoples, why the Zone needs Jay Smith. When you watch the fights, you know, from the people announcing the fight, you know, the color commentary, the people, you know, making the show, the people that's all over the place, you know, whether it's in a studio, around the ring, everywhere. Most of them have a UK accent. And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I love the UK accent. But you can tell that there's not, in their shows, that many Americans. I know that Bully and Ak, they're American. I haven't been seeing them lately. I've been seeing them on separate stuff. I don't know what happened with that. But what I'm saying is, I'm not American, right? But I grew up in the U.S. You could tell that I have a New York accent. We bring a different swag to the table. We bring a different flavor. They don't have that. So sometimes it doesn't feel like the people you see on TV are connecting with the American audience. Sometimes it feels like, the vocabulary that they're using, the terminology, it doesn't feel like they're connecting with people in the US. Bring me in and let me help y'all make that connection. Give me a second, my peoples. My boy's up. I gotta go check him out, my peoples. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. But what do you think about what I just said? When it comes to, what you see when you're watching fights on the zone. It's usually folks from the UK and they have their own style. And I enjoy watching them, don't get it twisted, but they have a different style. They have a different vocabulary. They have a different demeanor. Bring Jay Smith over there and watch a whole different flavor kick in. And a whole different fan base be more excited about it. Sean, I'm from England. That's your opinion. When you say you're from England, that's my opinion. What do you mean by that, brother? Oh, like, good morning, right? Let me get your slippers. When you say you're from England, and that's my opinion, what do you mean by that, brother? Look, maybe you didn't understand my point. If you're from England, it's not about your opinion, it's about the opinion from the American audience. Because if you're from England and you're watching people have that UK accent and all of them have that style, I'm expecting for you to enjoy it and love what you're seeing. That's what I would expect. But guess what? When you have these fights in Vegas, we got swag. No, I'm not saying that you don't, bro, but we have a different swag. So all I'm saying is that when you watch the broadcast, you're only watching one flavor, brother. You're not watching the different, because what you're watching in the ring, right? You're watching different flavors in the ring. You're watching, the guy from the UK versus the guy from Mexico and the guy from Russia versus the guy from Japan. And that's what you're getting inside the ring. But outside the ring, what you're getting on the zone, usually, it's a lot of people from the UK. And you might like, yeah, that's swag. But from the outside looking in, when you're listening to constantly these different terminologies and these people that look and talk different, guess what? You don't connect the same, my brother. So they're connecting good with you because you're from over there, but they're not connecting the same with people from the outside. You bring in somebody that can connect with them. I'll connect better with that audience than the people that they watching. I sound like Snoop. Damn. Flip. Hey, Jay. What happened to my wrench again? About 5 minutes ago was taken. Yes, Flip, because that logic of talking for somebody else, nah. I'm not with it, bro. The good old logic of other people think like this, and other people are going to think like this in the future. Nah, you don't know how other people are going to think, but I'm not riding with that logic. The whole other people think what I think, and in the future other people are going to think what I think. Nah. Not with it, Flip. My peoples. Let me just say this. This is a brand new episode of Boxing for Breakfast. It's Thirsty Thursday. I want to give a salute to everybody who tuned in this morning. Want to give a salute to Agent 17 who was in the building. I want to give a salute to John Parham, JJ Zendejas, Mason Briggs, Kano Crush, Agent 17, Giovanni Walker. Oh, Giovanni Walker. Man, I was talking all this crap. I ain't even see my brother Giovanni Walker was in the building. Giovanni Walker, salute, man. Bam. I didn't see you. I ain't know you was up in here. My peoples. Y'all know how I do it. Never leave the show without the last words of the day. Words of Jay Stradamus for you. Words of Jay Stradamus for you. And the words of Jay Stradamus are inspired by some of the comments on the chat today. My peoples, in this earth, what you say is always gonna be on you. Whatever it is, it could be good, it could be bad. But whatever you say is gonna be on you. What is the point of these words? That whole logic of everybody else is saying this, somebody else said that, somebody else is gonna say what I say. Don't never use that logic, because that logic is never gonna take you anywhere. You gotta stand on your own toes. Whatever it is, don't say stuff and then you want other people to stand on it who's not even there in that conversation. Don't talk for other people. Talk for yourself. The moment you try to talk for other people who are not part of the conversation, all you're saying is that your argument is weak. So you cannot say, I feel this way and that's how I see it. Instead, you say, well, other people see it like me and other people are saying what I'm saying. So remember, my peoples, whatever it is, whether it's serious, whether it's joking, whether it's whatever it is, stand on your own. Talk for yourself. Don't talk for other people. Don't try to bunch in other people with your own opinion. Stand on your own opinion. You know what's standing on your own opinion? What I do on this show every single day. I tell you, this is what I think. This is how I see it. You don't ever hear me talking about, because, Shakur, he's going to win because a lot of other people saying that the pros are saying that. No. I'm going to sit here and I'll tell you, Shakur is going to win because I think he's the best. If I see Teo going to fight and I say Teo going to win because I think he's the best. Not because of what other people said. Not because of what other people think. Never make what other people said and what other people think a part of the conversation. Remember, Jay Smith told you that. Y'all already know what it is. This is Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning, my peoples. I appreciate everybody tuning in, man. Y'all already know. We're going to do it again tomorrow at 6:30 in the morning, Eastern time. Yo, I'm getting the hell out of here. Peace.